Hi, my name is Jagdish Borah, and I am a faculty member in the departments of Social Work and Management at Assam Downtown University, Guwahati. My specialization is Human Resource Management, and I am glad to be here today to take you through the subject of organizational behavior. Today, we shall try to understand what OB is and its importance and need. OB is about people at work. There are many organizations, big and small. Some of them are successful and some are not. In some organizations, people are very happy to work, people are cooperative, they are innovative, and they are productive. On the other hand, certain organizations don't do well, their people are very demoralized, and they are unhappy. Now, regardless of the size or type of organizations we may work for, people are the common denominator of how work is accomplished within organizations. Now, I shall take you through two definitions of OB amongst many. The first definition says organizational behavior is a field of study that investigates the impact that individuals, groups, and organizational structure have on behavior within organizations for the purpose of applying that knowledge towards an organizational effectiveness. This is a long definition, looks complicated, so in the next part we shall try to analyze this definition. Before that, let us go to the second definition, which says it is the systematic study and application of knowledge about how individuals and groups act within the organizations where they work. So, we shall analyze the first definition by bringing it into or breaking it up into smaller components. It has basically three elements. First, OB is an investigative study of individuals and groups and also the organizational structure. As the interaction of the individuals, and why organizational structure? Because the interactions of the individuals, groups, and the structure of the organization, all of them, it impacts on the workplace. So it studies all three. It studies the individuals, it studies the groups, and the structure of the organization. So why do we study it? We study it to apply this knowledge for bringing effectiveness in an organization. In short, OB revolves around two fundamental components: the nature of the man, that is, the individual and the group, the nature of the man, and the nature of the organization. So, there are three levels of analysis in OB: the individuals, or why individuals behave as they do, what are their personality traits, why do they get motivated or demotivated, what are their attitudes, why do they feel satisfied with their work, why do they feel stressed, and why they act as they do. The second level of analysis is the group, which studies interpersonal relationship, it studies leadership, it studies conflict, group effectiveness. For example, you have groups or teams in an organization set up to achieve certain goals. Now, some groups may be very effective and deliver good results, and others may not give the same results. So, why is that? That is what OB will study. It also studies the group decision making process and other things. The third analysis in OB is the organization. We study the structure of the organization, the processes within the organization, because that also impacts the behavior of people. What type of organization is it? How to change the organization practices? What is the culture in the organization? And can we change the culture in the organization to make the entire organization more effective? Because ultimately it comes to the effectiveness of the organizations through the individuals and the groups. So, OB examines the individual, the group, and the organization, as we said earlier. Now, for example, if I want to understand my boss's personality, I would be examining the individual level of analysis. If we want to know about my manager's personality, how it affects my team, I would be examining at the group level. But if I want to understand how my organization's culture affects my boss's behavior, I would be interested in the organizational level of analysis. So, just as we need knowledge of accounting and marketing and finance, we also need knowledge of OB to predict how employees and organizations will act, to understand why employees behave as they do, and resolve and solve issues and problems related to the needs of the employee so that the organization can become more effective, the individuals can become effective, and the groups can become effective. Now, what is its importance? What is the need for OB? Why do we study OB? First of all, to study the individual, we have to analyze and understand behavioral implications of organizational problems. So, if there is a problem in the organization which arises from the behavior of individuals, we need to understand the behavioral implications of problems. And OB lets us study that. It lets us analyze once we get to know what OB is and we understand fully the various topics in OB, we can analyze and understand the behavioral implications and problems. We can also deal with the challenges of managing employees in the workplace. There are various challenges in the workplace because of the employees. So, how to deal with those challenges? For that, it is necessary to study organizational behavior. As I said earlier, teams and groups exist in organizations. Teams and groups are formed in the organizations to carry out organizational goals. How to make the teams and groups more effective? We can study through OB by understanding what are teams, what are groups, and what makes them more effective. We also address problems of motivating employees, job satisfaction, interpersonal conflicts, how to motivate employees, why are people unhappy, why are people happy, what are the conflicts amongst people, between groups, and how to address those problems through the study of organizational behavior. So, with all these, we can make the organizations more effective, and if there's some problem, we can bring changes in that organization or we can bring changes in the culture of the organization or the structure of the organization, change the behavior of the people, change the behavior of the groups so that the total organization and its people are more effective. So, in conclusion, we can say that OB is a part of management which represents the behavioral approach to management to help managers solve human problems in organizations, applying theories, research, and applications to understand behavior. As we come to the end of today's lesson, I would advise all of you to study the topic in greater detail from any of the textbooks prescribed in the syllabus and expand the material in writing. I look forward to seeing you in the next session.